Greetings and welcome once again to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. So, further to the last video that I published, there were, of course, a lot of bird brain comments, a lot of garbage. But I decided to pick out a certain comment from somebody who, who I believe is a math professor or a lecturer. And because his attitude isn't that bad, I'm going to respond to his comment. And also, not because I think it's going to help him, but because I want to make an example of him. So, this is his comment, which you can read at this link. I'll place a link to it. And what I've done is I'm answering this comment because I want to make an example of you. Although you asked in a nice attitude, you did not do your homework. Naughty person. Study the links and watch the video through to completion. Many times the most important parts are near the end. It's not over until I say it's over. Now, he writes, I don't understand what is exactly the problem that you have, and I would like to understand it. So that's a nice thing to say. Now, my response to that is the imbeciles who are part of mainstream mathematics are the ones with the problem, not I. In my mind, everything is as clear as can be. And then he says something which could be interpreted as perhaps a little bit of a foul language sentence, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He says, I only need a definition whenever I'm facing pathological interactions. I think he first meant to say pathological definitions, but he didn't do an autocorrect in his brain. So it came out as interaction. What he's meaning is that I'm pathological. And then I respond by saying, Ooh, you need to watch your language. If you're referring to yourself as pathological, that's okay, but make it clear, okay? Now, and then he says that may pathological interactions that may hint that we don't really know what we are talking about. That's actually directed at me, but uh, that's okay. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Here's my response. What I tell you is not given as clues or hints. It's straight up fact, meaning it's true. And yes, you don't know what you're talking about. In so many ways, the irony of that expression is lost on you. Then he says that's why we resort to formalism. So now a moron is trying to lecture me. Formalism is a load of crap. There is no place for authoritarianism in mathematics. If anybody is going to be an authoritarian, it's going to be me, guys. I'm not going to let you tell me what is right or wrong. I'm smarter than you. You are fucking morons compared to my intelligence. I piss and shit on you and everything you think and say. You are nothing. You're less than shit to me. Why don't you understand that? Is that so hard to understand? It means that don't write a comment, you fucking cunt, unless it's a question. Do you understand me? I've no time for your 2 cents or your bullshit that you're going to throw out here. There is nothing you can tell me that I haven't already read and heard, not once, not twice, but many times. And in most cases, before the lot of you little pieces of shit were even born. I'm 63 years old. I know what I'm talking about. When you say we, you're obviously referring to the pea-brain mainstream math community, I presume. Then he says, since we can't give a satisfactory definition of what we are talking about. Oh, wow, that's an open admission. We have an open admission, folks. We can't give a satisfactory definition of what we're talking about. But of course you can't, you bumbling idiot. That is the whole point. And then I tell him, is that one of your pathological interactions? Or are you just confirming that you don't know how to express yourself? That's a shame. One of the reasons we practice reading comprehension is so that we better learn to express ourselves. There is no gray area where a well-formed definition is impossible, unless, of course, it is based on illogical concepts conceived in your low IQ shit for brains, okay? So when we say a set, again, there he goes with the we. We need formalism as a way to keep rigor. Malaka. When we can't give a definition of what we're talking about. When you can't give a definition of what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about, you wanker. What part of that don't you get? There you go again with we. I don't care what you think. The only things that matter are facts, not any of the drivel you concoct in your dysfunctional mind. One should require only well formed concepts and an ability to express oneself correctly. The idiot continues. If we know what we are talking about, that's classic. So, first, they don't know what they're talking about, but now he says, if we know it. And you know what my response to that should have been? It should have been a Spartan if. That would have been classic, but he wouldn't have cottoned on to that, by the way. He wouldn't have gotten it. It would have been totally lost on him. He would have said, what does that mean if I respond with if? Listen, generally you have no clue what you're talking about. If you can't see the problem of having a well-formed definition when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, then frankly, I can't help you. I suggest you sit down and think carefully about what it is you're trying to say, and then you won't have formalism problems. Laughing my ass off. Then he says, I mean, the proof of that is we teach undergrads fully outside of any formal system. Oh my. There's only one response to that. You should be booted out of any classroom where you teach your drivel. And in fact, I would go as far as recommending a final solution for you idiot lot. Basically, firing the lot of you, getting rid of you because your stupidity is incorrigible. They don't know how to formalize anything in set theory. What the fuck does that even mean? Of course they don't, and they don't need to, because set theory is a bunch of crap which has nothing to do with mathematics. And then he says, yet it still is not pathological in any way. So it would be nice if this poor dimwit made up his mind about what's a pathological interaction and what isn't, because he seems to be saying that it starts off being pathological and then it's no longer pathological. So it's kind of a vacuous statement. So the only response I could have to that part is, you're reassuring yourself that it's not pathological in any way, because so far you don't know what you're talking about. Because natural language is not incompatible with rigor. I think he meant to say natural language is incompatible with rigor. So who told you that? Natural language is rigor. You cannot communicate with symbols that don't have language definitions which make them meaningful. Okay, doesn't matter how many symbols in the world you had, a la that idiot moronic fool Wittgenstein or any of the other pooples and nincompoops who came with him. Natural language is what matters. That is rigor. Okay. Now, finally, don't respond, because I will be forced to delete your next comment and block you. I don't have time for idiots. People, don't resist the urge to post your crap on my channel. Don't. I'm not interested in what you have to say. Go fuck yourself, man. If you don't like what I say, go jump off the highest cliff on the planet. Do you think that you're able to tell me anything, you fucking morons? Fuck you.